Hello viewers, today I'm going to give you an update on my desktop workstation. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. Or if you simply want to ask questions, that's fine too. Off the side panel we can see that there have been some massive upgrades in here. The most notable one that stands out is this graphics card. I recently went from a GeForce GT 1030 to a Radeon RX 580 8GB. This particular one is a XFX card. It's the 8GB OC Plus, the GTS Black Edition, which runs a little bit faster than the standard card, but I believe that this card was previously used in a mining environment because it has a BIOS that doesn't have any public record of existing, and instead of running at 1400 megahertz, it runs at 1075 megahertz, and the memory straight out of the box is overclocked to 2150 megahertz instead of the 2000 according to Tech Power Up and every other specification I could find for this particular model of card. But frankly, I'm fine with it because I'm kind of constrained on power thanks to this power supply, which, if you've seen my latest short, you'll know that under load, its 12 volt rail, which I probed using that Molex connector, drops to around 11 volts with the multimeter. So that's going to be going soon. I'm saving up all my money to get a Corsair RMX. Probably a 750, although I might go for the 850. It just depends on what prices are. I'm honestly waiting for them to like crash, but if I need to replace it sooner, y'all should let me know because I'm not too up to snuff in terms of power supplies. I've changed the fan situation. Now I've got two intake fans in the front. These are some Molex powered up here 1200 RPM fans. I've got another one up here. They all blow through filters as an intake, which brings in air down here. And I've got a single 120mm exhaust out the back that's at about 1000 RPM. And the reason is I just dusted this computer and it was really bad, so I installed these dust filters for it to not happen again. I have a 1TB hard drive in the bottom. I have an NHD9L CPU cooler, and underneath that is a Ryzen 5 5600 that is fitted to an ASRock A320M HDV R4.0 motherboard with 32GB of 3200 MHz RAM. It's just the value kind. I think these particular DIMMs are CL22 and they're mismatched, but it works fine for me. Although maybe in the future, once I get the power supply situation sorted out along with the case, I might go to some lower latency kits like a CL16, another 32 gig kit, because I actually do need a 32 gigs for things like BMD drive, and I am a heavy multitasker, as we can see. Oh, there's one more thing. I've added this, and my flashlight will cooperate, a 2.5 gig network card in the slot above. And don't worry, I am going to get some kind of cooling on that at some point. It does have a heatsink on it, but it doesn't have the best access to airflow. But if we look on the back, I have an additional 2.5 gig port, which I'm using right now because I used it when I installed the card to review it, to make sure it was reliable, because I got this on Amazon Vine. But when I get the other 2.5 gig card for my NAS, which I'm waiting for another one to show up, I'm going to have a direct connection between this 2.5 gig card and the one I'm going to put in my NAS over here, and that will give me a direct 2.5 gig link to my NAS without having to buy an expensive switch. I can just manually configure the IP addresses as static to have all the NAS traffic go over 2.5 gig, while the rest, normal internet traffic can still go over the 1 gigabit interfaces to this 8-port switch that I have here that I got on sale. It's about $20. $15, and it was on sale because you can only get a 5-port version of this for the time. I don't even think you can get any 8-port gigabit switches for $15, let alone one that's got the nice metal housing like this, which has held up pretty well. It's got nice tall rubber feet on it. Look at the bottom, it's got these hooks on it so you can mount it. Now that I've booted off of my 500GB NVMe SSD that I forgot to mention earlier, which is held in it with a screw that has too small a head and a plastic washer to compensate, because the original builder of this computer, because it was originally built with a 3200G and no graphics and overall lower specs, did not include the motherboard screw that comes with the case for the M.2 slot, so I had to improvise. I might fix this for a proper solution at some point, but ever since I've added the washer, it's worked just fine. But now we can see my dual monitor setup. This is a Dell P2414HB, which is defective actually. It's got a line down the middle. I bought it on eBay not knowing that, but fortunately I got my money back, and then I bought a second unit, which had the exact same problem in a slightly different spot, different seller, everything. And I got the money back on that one too. My brother's using the other one, because I frankly don't really notice it anymore. But this is the oldest monitor to me anyway. I've got here, this is the P1914S. It's the same family as this monitor, just in its 19-inch 5x4 variety on their factory stands. These are really amazing factory stands that I've got here. The Dell's factory stands are amazing. Sadly, they only work on their monitors due to the way that they mount. They don't use the VESA screws, even though it looks like they do. But these are really great. They tilt or rotate, swivel, all that stuff. They even got a cutout for you to run cables through. And these are not the fastest responding monitors. The main one's only 60 Hz, although I would like to go to 120 at some point. It's perfectly adequate for my needs. I'm not huge into like Fortnite and stuff. It's more like World of Warships, which is perfectly fine for that. I can't keep up with the faster pace of those games. It's just my brain. It just can't. But yeah. So overall, it's been dusted. I've upgraded my graphics a lot, which thermals became a challenge, so I added some more fans. I've got a monitor and need to replace a power supply. Got a network card. This overall synopsis here. Just wanted to make a quick video showcasing the changes that I've made, because it's been long overdue. I installed this graphics card back in early November, I think. So, bye y'all.